Okay, what I've done is I've taken the slide carb adapter off. This one here fits the Predator Honda engines, 6.5 Tillotsons, 6.5, stuff like that. But I'm going to use the same style carburetor I have for this one. So what I did is I took it, traced it out on my piece of metal here. Got the exact copy of it, going to clean it up a little bit. Got the other flange here for the air intake. And then I wound up putting this guy here off the side to turn the carb away. With this one here to feed into the carburetor. So that's my plan so far. I'll get it cut out and spark a couple welds, and I'll touch back base with you. Alright, after cutting them out, grinding them down a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit more grinding to them. But basically this is what we're working with, something like this. We'll go around, weld it well. It's actually going to probably turn more like that, but yeah, should be able to mount a slide carb on it. I may need to adjust the length of it, so I may tack it on and then try to change it later. I'm not quite sure what kind of intake length I need on it. I'm sure it changes the torque or something along the lines of that while running. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Hey, if you can't find the part, make it. I did change the length of it, as I said in the previous part of the video, to roughly about 3 inches. I'm going to try that out. Okay, so this is the intake tube since I welded it up, and I've got it bolted on. The bolts I had were too long for the block, so I took a nut, threaded on the end of them, and cut them down, then removed the nut off the end of it to clean the threads up. Then I took a file and took the rough edges off. So now the screws are short as they need to be, just where they need to be at for the intake. Still gonna work on the exhaust pipe here soon. I just screwed this in. This is actually a ceiling fan down rod. It is the same outside diameter thread that threads into the block perfectly. And right here, while I was cleaning up the recoil start, I popped it loose. So now I have to rewind the recoil and reinstall it inside the housing. I've started taking the bolts out the inside of the outer part of the recoil, make it a little bit easier to handle, so I can get a clamp on it to keep it stationary while I wind it back and keep the rope fed through the pulley correctly. I'm going to go ahead and start working on this here now, and I'll touch back with you once I get it back together. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I'm going to go ahead and clean up everything first, make sure it's good and spotless. I'm going to sand down the inside of this. I might even paint it before I reassemble it to put it on the engine. I am getting anxious to see how it's going to run, see if it's going to smoke, since it was underwater. But like I said, the cylinders still look good. So got a new plug in it now. Once I get this recoil put back together, I'm going to go ahead and check for spark. I readjusted the coil and made sure it was perfect and tightened and torqued it down where it needed to be at. This is still the original coil off the motor. It could be bad. I don't know. It's been submerged. If I don't get fire, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't find another coil for this engine. I'm pretty sure it's going to do pretty good, hopefully. I'll clean down all the contact points where it's going to on the flywheel. It seems like this flywheel has a couple of fins missing. I hope it doesn't give it any kind of wobble, any kind of rough play while it's spinning. But I mean, I could technically come in here and remove a couple of these bad boys. maybe make the flywheel lighter. It is cast iron, and they do make other ones, but I'm not sure if I can find one for this engine. But I don't know anything about a Briggs & Stratton, so I'm learning as I'm videoing this, and I'll get back with you as I get some more work done to it.